Hi Cancer, welcome to your bonus reading for September 2025. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I'm a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker, and I love doing monthly readings for all the zodiac signs here on YouTube, as well as some other fun content over on TikTok and Instagram. You were one of the top 3 signs that engaged most with my content here on YouTube, so as a thank you, I'm going to be doing a bonus love reading and general reading for you guys today. Let's go ahead and jump right into your love reading. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the collective, so if something doesn't quite resonate, don't take it as that may be for you. It could be for a different Cancer. Never try to force a reading on the internet to fit your specific life, okay? All right, spiritual team, archetype cards. What messages do you have for the Cancer collective regarding their love lives at this time? What messages do you have for the Cancer collective regarding their love lives at this time? Okay, what do we have? So we have monk or nun. It was in the reverse, so we're looking at the shadow attributes. It says negative judgment of the physical world or excess piety. Okay, and it was reversed when it came out of the deck like that. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. We have the athlete in reverse. At the bottom, shadow attributes, it says misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Interesting. And again, that came out reversed, so I'm reading the shadow attributes only down at the bottom. I mean, this seems like someone who is very I don't know why, but I heard like spiritual warrior, someone who could be a bit of a fanatic when it comes to their religious beliefs. Someone who may have like a negative view of everybody outside of their religious beliefs or their personal beliefs in general. I want to pull some tarot and see what else comes up, because there were some things that popped into my head, but I just want to clarify that that fits this narrative before I say anything, okay? Spiritual team, Disney Villains Tarot deck. What messages do you have for the collective, for the Cancer collective, regarding their love lives? What messages do you have for the Cancer collective regarding their love lives at this time? What messages do you have for the Cancer collective regarding their love lives at this time? Let's see what comes up here. Okay, we have the King of Wands. Okay, what else do we have? The Star card. True love in reverse. 5 of Coins in reverse. 8 of Swords. What's at the bottom of the deck? King of Coins. 4 of Coins. What is that? 9. 9 of Swords in reverse. Death in reverse. 8 of Cups. Interesting. I don't feel like this is necessarily someone from your past coming back around, but I do feel like that could be the narrative for some of you. You could be revisiting somebody from the past, okay? But for a lot of you, I think that this is someone new, but this isn't necessarily a fit. It started out really good with the King of Wands and the Star card. This person feels like a leader. This person feels like, you know, they have the right vision, they are ambitious, they achieve their goals, they stay on track. It seems like the person of your dreams, man, woman, non-binary person, doesn't matter gender, okay? You don't have to be a man to identify with the kings in these decks. Generally though, it feels like this person might have been like the person of your dreams, like someone that maybe you even put on a pedestal. But I think at the core of this connection, it's just not necessarily a match. And possibly for those of you where this is someone from your past, nothing's changed, okay? So whatever caused this relationship to end, this person has not grown from that. It's possible you may not have grown from the situation. You guys may be the same or have the same views as you did when you first tried to get together. Okay, so maybe it's a clash of like religious or spiritual beliefs. Maybe it's a clash of beliefs in general about the world. Your perspectives on the world are completely different. You see things differently. This person may be extremely stubborn and vocal and passionate about what they believe, because I not only have the King of Wands, I also have the King of Coins. And these two are definitely not the type to give in or concede, or really, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, be flexible in terms of what they believe and what they stand for. This is someone who's possibly a hothead at times, and possibly very, very stubborn with the King of Coins energy is what I get. So this person may like get very upset, may be very angry when people try to challenge their beliefs or doesn't quite believe what they believe. They may get into arguments a lot, very heated arguments. Maybe for some of you guys, they may have gotten into like physical altercations here and there. Okay, maybe it's not necessarily a situation, but maybe you guys thought that they could have gotten that far if they let it. So they have a very explosive, angry personality. It's a very hot button triggers for them. And while I feel like a lot of you guys really see this person as the Star card, they're like, this is the one, like it's feeling like hopeful that this can work out, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. But there's also this ignoring of red flags, I feel. There's an ignoring of red flags and feeling like, well, I don't want to be the reason that this relationship doesn't work out. Yeesh. Yeah. I don't know. This one is very like, I'm not a fan of the energy. I'm not a fan of the person. And take what resonates. Obviously, this may not resonate for all of you. This could be also your energy. You might identify as the energy I just described. It could be vice versa. If you're a cross watcher, this could describe your Cancer. This could describe you. Okay, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But ultimately, that is what I'm seeing. I don't see this necessarily working out unless you or your person can learn to grow and not be so closed-minded, or what's the word I'm looking for? So hell-bent on proving their beliefs being the one true belief or way of doing things in life, if that makes sense. Yeah. I even feel like it comes down to like tasks or health. Like they take either their health very seriously because of this athlete card. Like they may have, I don't know if necessarily like an eating disorder is the case for every single situation, but I feel like they are very regimented when it comes to diet, exercise, or even like doing chores around the house. Like they may be very, very, very particular about how the house is kept, things like that. Okay, and it could be very annoying for some of you guys, and you're like, I don't want to be so particular, but or I don't necessarily want to like yuck someone's yum, but at the same time, like there could be a little less rigidity when it comes to certain things. Does that make sense? I think you guys get it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out your love reading with an oracle deck, see if we can get any additional messages from your person or from you to see if this resonates any further. Spiritual team, Hidden Truth Oracle, what final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective regarding their love lives at this time? What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective regarding their love lives at this time? Okay. Let's see, what do we have? I wish I had treated you better. This may have been something that they said to you, especially if this is someone who's you're already reconnecting with. They may have very well said this to you, or they want to say this to you if you guys have not had an interaction yet. Okay, so this person may be thinking this or wanting to say this to you. Okay, what else do we have? Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't think anything has changed in terms of how this person acts or thinks or moves, you know what I mean? At the bottom of the deck, it says, I feel you leaving me behind. So this person may see you doing well. They may see you doing better. They may see you, you know, thriving or whatever. They just have a fear of losing you, and they want what they had with you at some point. But ultimately, I just don't feel like this is a match for you guys. There are a lot of things here, underlying things, that I just don't know if they can be changed. And obviously, I would never recommend going out of your way to make someone change for you. That's really unhealthy in relationships, and not only puts a huge burden on you, but half of the time, people don't want to change unless they really want to. Okay, and sometimes people are just not meant to be. Sometimes it doesn't work out for a reason, and that's okay too. They could be our ideal person, but there's just some deal breakers that just cannot be overlooked. Okay, because ultimately it can turn a seemingly somewhat healthy relationship into a very unhealthy one very, very quickly. All right, so Cancers, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if this romantic reading, resonated for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle, set up my decks again and get into your, general message. I'm so sorry. All right, I'll see you guys there in a second. All right, Cancers, let's go ahead and get into your general message. I'm gonna start off with another oracle deck. Spiritual Team Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. What messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? What general messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? Okay, let's see what we have. So first up, we have Ua Aljana, and at the bottom it says Beyond. And I'll take a look at the guidebook on this and see what comes up in terms of these, because I don't have these memorized, and this is a massive deck and a fairly new one for me. So at the bottom of the deck, we have Orun, and it says Joy and Light. Oh, I love this. I love the imagery on these cards. They're so gorgeous. All right, let's get into the guidebook, starting with Ua Aljana. All right, Ua Aljana. A mother wraps her arms around her son as her wings envelop him. Ua Aljana is the fairy godmother of spirit and brings a message of protection. You are always loved, guided, and protected when Ua Aljana appears. She has seen the struggles of life and chosen them for her path so that she can better serve the world. Around her feet are elements of her medicine bag: a crow feather, a hawk's tail feather, tarot cards, a hand drum, a spider, an earwig, and a vial, antique keys, and tea leaves. She reminds you that it's not always love and light, sunshine and rainbows, and cute baby kittens. The elements of life are real, and they are not one-sided. Ua Aljana teaches us that when death knocks on our door, we cannot control who stays and who goes. We can live right now and know that nothing lasts forever, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. If you have someone who has transitioned to non-physical, this card is a sign that they are with you. Wow. I love that. That's so powerful. Oh my gosh. Cancers. So those of you where maybe you've lost a loved one recently, that's just confirmation that person visits you and hangs out with you on a regular basis, watches over you, guides you. All right, let's get into Orun. All right, Orun. The outlook is bright and you have a clear vision of how to move forward without the fears operating in Osupa. Anything the light touches will be an opportunity for creation and action. Orun signifies the confidence to gallop with the sun at your back, your highest self enthusiastically pushing you onward. The cannabis flowers show the need to express yourself, as in all cards that represent the sign of Leo. Orun appears when there is a tremendous success in your vortex because he signifies the inner child's innocence and power that create unlimited joy and flow. Orun embodies the carefree spirit of the Vri, the intention of the manifestir, the wisdom of the witch doctor, and the fire of Sarunia Ua. He also includes the gumption of Sarki, the perception of Aruro Sinsin, the understanding of the role other souls play in your life, as in Alabasisepo, and the self-control of your emotions, as in Karusar. Orun is a card for being happy with yourself and with your life. It represents the inner knowledge that there are lessons and blessings, that you need to fully appreciate the gifts life is giving you, that you should be aware that happiness is a choice. If Orun has appeared in your cards today, it is time to ask, am I surrounded by people who raise my spirit to its highest potential? I love that. So I feel like some of you guys may have been going through a really tough time lately, and I feel like this came up in your September monthly reading. So for those of you where you've been having a tough time, it's been a really low period for you guys. There is sunshine coming. There is a new chapter beginning. Okay, so whatever it is that you're looking for, like that light at the end of the tunnel, the silver lining, this is just a reminder that it is coming, and you are just either moving through that tougher period for the time being and it's temporary. They want to remind you that it's temporary and that it's not always going to be like this forever, or that you are starting to finally come out of it. It's going to be different for all of you. You could be at different stages depending on who you are and where you're at in your journey. I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot and see what comes up. Spiritual team, Disney Villains Tarot deck. What messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? All right, we got the Nine of Swords, Nine of Cups, the Fool, Seven of Coins, Two of Cups in reverse. What's at the bottom of the deck? Seven of Swords reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, True Love, Judgment in reverse, Six of Cups. Yeah, Six of Cups reversed. Okay. What I first heard is some of you guys feel like you took a leap of faith too soon, or like you just jumped into something very naively and now you are regretting that decision. I think some of you, okay? So for some of you, you took a chance and you went after something you really, really wanted. There was a lot of unknown, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of uncertainty, not a whole lot of guarantees, but overall, I think that you did this because you knew that the risk was worth the reward, or I'm sorry, the risk was worth the reward. Sorry, sometimes I flip things in my head. Yeah, sometimes the risk is worth the reward. And I get, like, you guys went into this fully knowing, understanding the risks. However, things have not been moving along the way that you expected to or wanted it to. So I think for some of you, this could have a lot to do with, jobs for you guys. This could have to do with, I don't know, moving. Could talk about relationships, could talk about a number of things. I have two cards that can talk about connections. So the True Love card and the Two of Cups in reverse. This one I'm not necessarily too worried about, but this one at the bottom of the deck I am absolutely happy to see, because what I feel like happened with this Two of Cups in reverse is you guys left something behind that wasn't a match. It wasn't working. This was both of these two were both at the top of the deck. So we have the Fool card and then the Two of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you guys walked away from something that was not a good match, that did not make you happy. Something that possibly you guys invested in for a long time. So it could be a relationship, could be a job, could be a home, could be anything. Really just take that into consideration, that feeling of like, I invested a lot in this. For some of you guys, this could also have to do with like your education. So if you guys are finally graduating and now you guys are like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave my job and pursue my new, career. And you guys literally are walking towards your dreams, everything you've ever wished for. Excuse me, come on. Get up. These cards are really flimsy. So yeah, you guys are walking away from that Two of Cups. This is how it came out on my table. You guys are walking away from that Two of Cups towards this Nine of Cups in order to get your dream, to get your wish fulfillment, okay? Now the problem is a lot of you guys have been a little stressed because you have been, possibly not been hearing back on job offers, or possibly not had a whole lot of luck, in terms of dating, or, maybe you've had a lot of unknown surprises when it came to buying that new house or getting that new apartment. Maybe you've been having some issues, things coming to the surface, realizations of like, ooh, this is not what I expected things to be right off the bat. Like, I knew there was going to be things that weren't perfect, but I had no idea it was going to be this tough, or it was going to take this long, or it was going to be this big of an issue. Now, what I do see with the, was this 6? This is the 6 of Cups in reverse. Okay, never mind. So, some of you guys could also be banking off of like how things moved for you in the past. And Spirit wants to remind you, like, not every period is the same, not every chapter is the same. So sometimes things do not move as quickly as we thought they would. Let's say the job market, like currently the job market is absolutely trash in the United States right now. So if you're looking for a job, you're not alone. And if it's taking a lot longer than it used to, you're not alone. Okay, so bottom line advice is Spirit is again just trying to say, like, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a silver lining. You're being looked out for. But at the same time, giving up, I feel like, can mean so many different things to people. For some people, if you're in the job market and you're not finding something in your industry, maybe you need to take a part-time job for right now, or something that just covers the bills until you find something that you're actually looking for. If you're looking for relationships, maybe this is a good time to focus on your own personal mental health and your own hang-ups or any baggage that you have to deal with, or, process from past relationships, things like that. That could be a number of things. So right now, this is a really good time to just work through what you can control and leave everything else up to your spiritual team, the people that are looking out for you, whoever you pray to, whatever. And in the meantime, just take care of yourself and control what you can control, right? That's all we can do. Like I said, with these first 2 cards from the first deck, I feel like something is coming to kind of lift you up out of where you've been. And again, if you have been maybe in this process for like a couple of weeks, I'm saying like it could take a little bit longer than expected. If you've already been in this for a couple months to a year or even longer, and you're starting to feel like, I don't know how much longer I can go until the next thing pops up, I feel like it's probably going to happen for you guys sooner rather than later, just because you've been at it for so long up until this point. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and close out your reading with another oracle deck and see if there's any additional messages that come up for you, and then I have another one ready to go for some final messages. Spiritual team, African Goddess Rising, what final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? Let's see. Okay, what do we have? Is set. Surrender. I don't know if I can show this. I'm just going to cover up this one part because it is a baby nursing a bare breast, so I can't show that on YouTube. But basically, surrender for me just means, letting the universe kind of take you where it needs you to go at this point in time. I'm not saying, again, give up on your dreams, but I'm saying maybe you're being redirected for this time. At this time for a reason. Okay, maybe there's some things that you still need to work on, you still maybe knowledge that you need to get under your belt, experience you need to get on your resume, or things you need to clean up in therapy, mentally and emotionally speaking. There could be a number of things. So Spirit's just saying, again, control what you can control, continue to search for that next opportunity, that next relationship, connection, whatever, and just, let things happen as they're meant to happen. What else? We have Aunt Nancy, betrayal. Okay, some of you guys could feel betrayed from your spiritual team, from the universe. Maybe you guys are like, have I been abandoned? Some of you guys may feel a little betrayed right now by the universe, and because of how things are moving a lot slower than you expected. Some of you guys could also be feeling betrayed by past situations or by yourselves even, maybe feeling like a little foolish, like you jumped the gun a little too soon, something of that nature. Okay, what else? What's at the bottom of the deck? We have Tituba, feeling safe. Good, I like this. Again, that kind of calls back to the first card that we pulled, this Ua Aljana. talking about feeling safe, feeling nurtured, protected, guided, okay, and knowing that someone is watching out for you and that things are going to turn out the way that they need to. And I know easier said than done. Keeping the faith is very, very hard, especially when spirit moves on its own time and not our timelines. So I get it. But I think spirit just wants to reinforce that, hey, you are being taken care of. You will be taken care of. Just make sure that you are not giving up or giving into those feelings of hopelessness. Just continue moving and control what you can control, and maybe seek out other options and opportunities in different avenues. You may have to take a couple of side streets to get where you're going, instead of, a straight shot down the freeway. But hey, sometimes, point A to B ends up being point A to Z to B, okay? All right, let's go ahead and close this out with one final deck. Spiritual team, tea leaf fortune cards. What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? All right, let's move on to the other half of the deck and see if anything else comes out. Spiritual team, tea leaf fortune cards. What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? What final messages do you have for the Cancer Collective at this time? Okay, I think that's it. They gave me 3 cards, so let's go ahead and see what they have to say. We have the Owl. Good advice from a wise person. Maybe it's me. Just kidding. Maybe this is advice from someone that you really trust or you admire. Maybe it's from a tarot reader or an astrologer, or someone that, again, you can just trust for some good, solid advice, or to bring some clarity. Next, we have Angel, spiritual guidance and protection from harm. Again, that calls back to that very first card, because this woman had angel wings. Sorry, me and my nails are not getting along right now. But yeah, it literally talks about protection, guidance, okay? And again, kind of guiding you out of this dark period and into that silver lining, into that light at the end of the tunnel. And finally, at the last card that I got is the Diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. So again, I feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a silver lining. There's a reward at the end of all of this risk taking, this new journey. I think is finally going to end up paying off for you guys, Cancers. All right. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Again, please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to subscribe so you see more videos from me in the future, and maybe share this with another Cancer if you feel like it would resonate for them. If you want to see more content from me, I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. You can find my handles below in the description box. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the love and support. I hope you guys have a great day, week, month, whatever, until the next time I see you, and I do hope to see you guys at the next one. All right, until then, take care of yourselves. Bye.